welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to bring you a review of The Apprentice, directed by Abbasi, starring Sebastian Stan, Jeremy Strong, Maria Bakalova, and Martin Donovan. And this follows Donald J. Trump as he begins to build his empire in New York City, following him throughout the 70s and 80s under the apprenticeship of his lawyer, Roy Cohn. Now, this movie has had a long journey to get out in theaters. Well, we almost thought it was going to be quite a long journey because, of course, it premiered at Cannes, and then some dumbass who was a Trump supporter put money into this movie not realizing what this actually was, and then they tried to block the release. The Trump campaign tried to come down on it, but it did eventually get distribution by Briarcliff Entertainment, which is a smaller independent company, and it almost seemed like this movie wasn't going to come out until then. But it's playing wide, basically everywhere now, so here it is, we have it. And this is what I was looking forward to because, of course, you hear, oh, a biopic about Donald Trump that kind of breaks down who he is as a person and kind of delves into a exploration of sociopathy, and so I was all down for this, of course, and I was excited because Sebastian Stan was playing Donald Trump, who's been quite an interesting actor, outside of the MCU. He's done a lot of great things. I, Tonya, A Different Man, which I posted my reaction to, which I thought was his career best performance until a day later when I saw this, because first and foremost, I have to say this movie does not work without Sebastian Stan as Donald Trump, because the thing that's so impressive to me about this performance, he isn't doing the Trump voice like this, and that's completely fine because what he does nail is the cadence of the way he talks, his mannerisms, to the point that by the end of the film, as you see the evolution or de-evolution, you could say, of this person, he really just becomes Donald Trump to an uncanny level. Like, I literally did not see Sebastian Stan at all. This is one of the absolute best performances of the year, and I sincerely hope that he gets an Oscar nomination for his role as Donald Trump, because he really carries this movie on his back. And that's not to say that anyone else is slouching either, because of course you have Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohn, who's such a relentless, malignant, absolutely nefarious person, and some of the stuff that he says in the first half of this movie is just absolutely appalling. This guy, make no mistake, was a monster of the highest order, but I think the thing that's so interesting about Strong's performance is how he portrays this to such a harrowing degree, but by the end, you really do feel some shred of sympathy about him. Yeah, sure, he's a pathetic guy, and of course, he probably didn't deserve the greatest of life, but my goodness, kind of seeing what he goes through at the end of this movie and how he kind of looks back at what he did with Donald Trump, it's really a Shakespearean tragedy if there ever was one. And I think Strong is just so absolutely exceptional in this. As ruthless and as witty as he is throughout this entire movie, he brings it to such heartbreaking lengths by the end of it. And I really do think this is probably my favorite male supporting performance of the entire year. I really hope he doesn't miss getting the Oscar nomination as well, because these two really make this movie, and their chemistry together is absolutely exceptional. And you totally believe, this younger Donald Trump coming into this world of finance and real estate and really transforming himself the more powerful he gets into a more, unscrupulous and unsympathetic monster. It really does feel so accurate to the Trump that we know today. And I think that is what is so scary about this film, is how accurate this is. Just this dive into a man's pursuit of capitalism only to lose his own soul. I mean, it's a tale as old as time, and it's a tale that's super relevant to us today. Now, I think the election could definitely alter this movie's Oscar chances, because either he loses and they're like, okay, we don't want to do anything with Trump anymore, or he wins and then everyone's like, okay, well, we have to push this movie to tell everybody about it. But I don't know, I think the merit of those two performances alone really do push it, I think, or at least I'd hope, to awards consideration, but we'll have to see how that plays out. I also have to compliment Maria Bakalova as Ivana Trump. Now, she's not in the movie as much as Sebastian Stan or Jeremy Strong, of course, but when she is on screen, she is very, very good, especially some of the scenes she has with Sebastian Stan in particular are some of the most impactful and also haunting moments in the entire film. And so I really do appreciate what she did in this film. But more than anything, I really appreciate Gabriel Sherman's screenplay that's so razor sharp and witty and constantly funny, considering how, dark of a story this really is. There's a lot of levity to be found in Donald Trump's interactions with people. And of course, Roy Cohn is just so nefariously funny in this. I really do love the dialogue here, and of course all the character dynamics being woven together. I think it really, really works. And another thing I really liked about this movie is Casper Tuxen's cinematography, because it does start out in the beginning of the film in the 70s, and it feels a lot more grainier while you're looking at the textures on screen. But as they move into the 80s, it almost feels like it was shot on a digital camcorder of that era, and you see the, kind of grain show up on the screen from that perspective. And I really loved how it so subtly, signified the shift in time that really was quite effective, I think, for this overall narrative. And the thing I really do love about this film as well, I don't think it's really a hit job on Trump. I think it's a very honest portrait of what he became, because at the beginning of the movie, it really does show you a sort of human side to Donald Trump and how he sort of loses that throughout the film. And I think that was just so effective, and it felt much more grounded and realistic as opposed to taking any particular side. I really do mean that. But of course, I mean, you come out with a movie like this, it's not pro-Trump. Like, no one's ever going to say that. It's obviously against Trump in some way. So let me be clear about that bias. But I do think in the way it approaches the material, it's a very, unbiased account of what Sherman perceives Trump to be. And I really, really do love this movie, which surprised me because I was hearing good things out of the festivals. But I think why I love this film is because it delivered on everything that I wanted the story to deliver on. And I think it effectively hits all those beats so well, and the evolution of these characters are so fully realized that it was just absolutely thrilling to watch. Now, I know some people will say it has pacing issues, which I sort of agree with, but it didn't ever felt like it dragged for me. And also, I think that there's some subplots that could have been integrated in the story in a little bit of a tighter manner. But I think, besides the point, the main focus here is really what they nail. Featuring an exceptional Sebastian Stan as Donald Trump, and of course Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohn. So I'm going to give The Apprentice an 8.5 out of 10. I really did love this film. Like I said, definitely check it out if you get the chance and are interested in this story, because I do think it is an important one, an important reminder of the times we are in more than anything. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about The Apprentice down in the comments below. Of course, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Going to be bringing you more reviews, of course. Next on the chopping block, I believe, is We Live in Time and Saturday Night. So please stay tuned for those reviews very, very soon. And I'll talk to you guys later.